Probably Rogers.
Yes, of course, Rogers.
Rogers. But the highways as it stands right now are not expected to be closed. There may be some interruption of service when motorcades pass through, which you've maybe experienced when other dignitaries come to town, but they're not expected to be closed as it stands right now.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have only about 5 minutes, so if people could ask their questions quickly so I can get through everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.
This will be a quick one.
No, fine.
On Thursday, the 24th, George Brown College is having their commencement at Thompson Hall. How do you see the traffic in this around here flowing?
Sergeant Annie Norrie, due to the Board of Governors over there, Roy Thompson, made us aware of that about 2 months ago, and we've already mitigated a plan. As a matter of fact, I had a meeting with the Board of Governors 2 nights ago with my RCMP colleague, and we gave them the overview of their traffic plan of how they're going to get in and get out, and that will be with the assistance of the police.
I just want to say that Rogers is going off the air. We'll continue to take the questions for a few more minutes, but for those who've been watching on Rogers, thank you very much, and the websites and all the other information is available both on Pam McConnell's website and my website. I'm sure you can Google or do whatever search engine you need to find that, but the information is also going to be available through the Toronto Police Service, and for those watching on Rogers, good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
And now, your turn.
Well, that should make you less nervous asking the question.
I'm here representing a business opposite the Rogers Centre on Bremner Boulevard, so I think we're going to be quite affected by it. We're just concerned about two things. One, we open over the whole weekend usually, like the whole day from dawn until midnight. Will our deliveries be affected? We have a lot of deliveries with really big trucks, huge trucks, and we're just a bit concerned that they won't be able to get through for security reasons. Should we warn them in advance? Do they need to get security passes?
I can assure you this, that if you put your comment into that website, you may be talking to me or one of my colleagues. You will be talking live, and we will listen specifically to what your concerns are, and we'll definitely mitigate them.
The other concern is that, again, we have we're a cafe that opens very early and closes very late, so our staff are often coming in on public transit, often like 5:30 in the morning, and they leave it after midnight. Will the security, we're going to get them passes as much as possible, will the security be there like 24 hours to help them get in and out? It's not going to like shut off at a certain time?
We actually shut down at 4 o'clock and go home.
Okay, I just want to check that, like, when they come in from like way out of town at like 5:30 in the morning, that it's not going to be even harder for them to get in. Like, it's going to be the same.
I would assume through the night and that it could be quieter, but I don't know. But the security will be there 24/7, and we will do everything in our power to get your folks in and get them out, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi there. I just wanted to comment that I feel really powerless having to depend on the property owner to update me on some serious things being within a security zone. And I think the quickest example to give would be there's a lot of movies in the downtown core, and only one memo gets delivered per building, and there's several residents, so of course I didn't get the memo. And I'm on the phone in my kitchen, and these giant machine guns are going off outside of my kitchen. And it was the Toronto ETF that were actually lending the guns to the film company. And I'm squatting on the ground thinking that there's some gang war or something outside. So that would be the quickest example of not getting the memo for me. And I really believe it's likely that I may not get the memo for like these passes and things. And I'm just wondering, is there a way for me, not being a property owner, to assure that I'm standing up for myself and getting what I want done?
Do you live in a building?
Yeah.
Could I ask what the location is?
It's in the zone on Queen.
On Queen Street? You'll
Yeah.
be fine. You are not in the zone.
You're not in the zone.
What I can ask you to do is, if you come forward and I'm not sure which side of
The south side. Like, I was under the impression that we would volunteer to get these traffic passes or something.
Okay. What you can do is, if you can come forward after the meeting, we'll put you on the mailing list that we've been using through the office to notify people, and we'll keep you updated as much as possible. I agree that there's a problem with residential, but retail, I'm sure you've had garbage problems as well.
It's ridiculous.
Yes, I know. So we are endeavoring to find a better way to communicate to people along Queen Street, but that's the best way to do it, is to contact Jen or myself. Jen is right here. We'll get your email address and keep you in the loop as much as possible. In terms of film, there is, Pam and I can talk to that a little bit, there is a new protocol that's emerging out of the police and the film office to try and provide better notification and more comprehensive notification, in particular in your neighborhood with the Grange Residents Association, and we're working on it. We understand the challenges.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. We're going to go here, and then we're going to come back up. Yeah.
Great. There's a Blue Jays series on that weekend against the Philadelphia
That's right.
Phillies. What's happening with that?
You'll be able to get to your game.
We're hoping they'll win.
We're hoping so, but it's more from the business aspect. I run a sports bar that
Yeah.
is affected by the Blue Jays playing. Are they going to be able to walk up John Street?
If people have a reasonable purpose to be inside the zone and there's no security threats, they will be allowed to travel into the zone. And if you have a restaurant, your patrons will be allowed to get into you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I just wanted to get some clarification on where exactly this express pass can be used, or, so.
It's used, the one in the Toronto Police Zone, I don't know if you were present for the accreditation in that. That's in the secure zones with the RCMP. That's a different process. In the Toronto Police Zone, once those fences are disclosed, you'll see whether or not you're there. But in the meantime, I can tell you the buildings inside of the security zone are either office buildings, and there's one condominium affected. The property owners of those buildings will be in touch with their business people that are in there, who in turn will disseminate that information to their employees. So you will be notified, and be notified probably within the next week to week and a half.
Okay, thank you.
And if you don't get notification, then you're not involved in the process.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I live in the condominiums attached to the Soho Hotel. Will there be added security issues for the residents in those condos?
The one thing I can tell you from the integrated security unit is we've met with all of our business partners downtown about their structures and that. It is their responsibility when you're dealing with the interior of the building. That will be their responsibility for them to do whatever they think is required in order to secure it. And there's a lot of consideration that goes in, and they're very good at the businesses that they do. The exterior of the building, as I said, there will be security presence on the ground to deal with any inevitability.
The hotel condo hybrid, which is a condition which is somewhat unique to the downtown core, does present some challenges. There will be, of course, a significant number of people attending this event beyond just the security forces that have been talked about tonight. Approximately 5,000 journalists will be in the city, so there will be a lot of international travel into these areas that may in of itself attract some attention to some of these buildings, and we're reviewing those situations and making sure that those hybrid buildings are managed appropriately. So we're watching it and hoping that the impacts will be mitigated by a strategy that sort of sequesters the people that require the highest level security as standalone buildings. But all of that stuff is details beyond which I can even provide information on.
Okay.
One more question that escaped my mind. Hopefully Mother Nature's kind to us weather-wise. I think I'd probably speak for everyone that in the entertainment district, being that everything will be going on, and for us, we don't want to be locked up in our condos or houses. Will there be extra presence in that area so that we can walk freely without any
We're hoping it's
hindrance?
the quietest night in the clubland we've ever
Just
had.
might
That's not going to happen. You know that. But, are we guaranteed that we're going to have a little bit extra police presence so that any hooligans do decide to get a little rowdy?
I think you can rest assured that there'll be a presence there that will be significant.